In June of 2021, I weighed 215 pounds. To say that I was not lean would be an understatement. I was certainly not in the best shape of my life. Fast forward to today, I weigh 184 pounds. I'm far leaner and I continue to add muscle and have way more muscle than I did back then. I am 56 years old. I'm 5'8". I weigh 184 pounds in the off season. I'm 100% natural and I continue to add muscle regularly. I eat about 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. That's 2.2 grams per kilogram of body weight most days. A lot of guys over 50 eat far less than that, and they're wondering why they're getting smaller and softer year by year. Today, I'm going to break down just how much protein you should be consuming, backed by peer-reviewed science and real-world experience. I've stayed 100% natural. My testosterone 6 months ago when I had my blood work done, it's right around the average for a healthy 40-year-old. Now, what did I do different for this to happen? This didn't happen by chance, and it wasn't just by guess. It happened because I prioritized protein intake along with resistance training. Now let's talk about the research. First of all, forget about 0.8 grams per kilogram or 0.36 grams per pound. That's enough to prevent deficiency, but not to build or maintain muscle with age. Research studies show that adults over 50 do best when they hit at least 1.2 to 1.6 grams per kilogram per day. That's about 0.55 to 0.75 grams per pound spread over multiple meals. For example, one long-term study on older adults found that eating 30 to 50 grams of protein per meal helped maintain leg strength and overall physical performance for several years. Another review of over 11,000 older adults found that higher protein intake improved walking speed, grip strength, and general function. And when combined with resistance training, multiple studies agree hitting that 1.2 to 1.6 grams per kilogram, remember we said that's 0.55 to 0.75 grams per pound, per day, that range preserves muscle and even supports growth in adults over 50. The key? Spreading your protein intake through the day is key. Now, for advanced lifters like myself, 1 gram of protein per pound, or that's 2.2 grams per kilogram of body weight, is safe and effective for adding muscle. Now, I want to add to all of that, if there's some kind of condition or issue that you have with protein and protein intake, you need to talk to your doctor before you make any significant changes. So let's put my protein intake in perspective. I've talked a lot about 1 gram per pound of body weight and made that recommendation. And I still do if you are looking to add muscle, that 1 gram per pound, 2.2 grams per kilogram for me, that's the starting point. Now, the research, as we've talked about, shows that most adults only need 1.2 to 1.6 grams per kilogram per day. So remember, that's the 0.55 to 0.75 grams per pound for muscle maintenance and for growth when paired with training. So 1 gram per pound is a top-end range for advanced lifters like me, and it is generally considered to be safe. But it's not necessary for everybody. As I've said, we know that protein works best when mixed with resistance training. I would love it if all we had to do was eat and add muscle, but the resistance training is pretty important. So I want to show you how I break down my protein intake throughout the day. I go with 5 meals, and I'm going to show you just the numbers of how much protein I'm eating in each meal. And I can tell you my first meal of the day, the protein sources are, I have 2 whole eggs, I have a couple of slices of cheese, and I have a protein shake. And so in meal 1, I end up with 49 grams of protein. Meal 2, which for me is usually something with yogurt and some kind of protein powder, is 35 grams of protein. My third meal is around 27 grams of protein. My fourth meal, somewhere between 40 and 45 grams of protein. And my final meal of the day is usually around 30 grams of protein. So total protein intake for me is 180 grams spread over 5 meals. Now, that works out to be right around 1 gram per pound of body weight, because my 184 is not my lean weight. But that gives me a good baseline from which to add muscle from with my current training and how my body responds. My recommendation, if you are looking to aggressively or seriously add some muscle, go for that 1 gram per pound for protein. That's 2.2 grams per kilogram. So that you, and then of course incorporate the consistent training and everything else, and I believe that you'll see good results. So we want to make sure that we spread that protein intake throughout the course of the day, because your body doesn't store protein. So we need to keep giving it that consistent protein, and we need to pair it with consistent resistance training. Obviously, one without the other isn't going to have optimal results. The other thing is you will adjust as you go through this process. So you're going to make adjustments for your body weight, your body's response, for your overall hunger, and what you look like and feel like with the training. So when you do this, be open to make adjustments. We make adjustments. When I say we, I have a coach who helps me with my nutrition. We make adjustments to my overall nutrition because I check in with them week to week about how do I feel, how do I look, am I adding too much fat? What do we think of what's going on? So be open to making those adjustments as you go through this process. If you are over 50 and you are eating less than 1.2 grams of protein per kilogram, that's the 0.55 grams per pound, you are leaving gains on the table. Remember, it's all about consistency. It's not, once I hit this protein number, everything's going to be right. It's about training. It's about consistent protein intake and nutrition, and it's also about consistent recovery. Now, I'm going to put a link here. This video is vital for you to know about how much recovery you should have between sets and exercises to optimize your gains in your 50s. Thank you for watching today. If you got some value out of this, please take a minute and subscribe to the channel, like the video, and we'll see you next time. Keep punching.